Anything to start with, first thing is why, right? So I'm going to talk about money tonight, right? Okay, very good. Now, everybody, I asked in the beginning, everybody's got a plan A. Plan A means, you're studying, you're busy, you're working, you're already creating some income for yourself, right? But I'm going to talk about something which is called as plan B, which is creating an additional source of income. Okay. Now, before I actually move ahead, I want to show you what's the potential of this business. In phase one, okay, we are looking at an effort of 12 to 24 months, and we are looking at an time investment about 5 to 10 hours per week, and we are looking at an income of $50,000 per year, right? In phase two, we are looking at an effort of 2 to 5 years, anywhere from 15 to 20 hours per week time investment. We're looking at an income of 100K to 200K. And this phase 3 and phase 4, I don't want to go much more detail, but additional $50,000, okay? How many of you will be excited about additional $50,000, right? Good, then I can talk about it, right? And I'll give you a little bit of idea about how we can actually generate additional 6-figure income as well, right? But the good thing about this one is there's work involved, okay? So one question should be clear that it's not. This presentation is something like it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's definitely work involved, so you should be very happy about it, right? If somebody tells you that you're going to get something for nothing, just run away, okay? So there's work involved. The good thing about this income is, first thing is, it's on top of whatever you're going to make at the moment. Let's say, for example, you're already making 60 or 70K or whatever it is. This income is on top of that, right? Second good thing is, it's actually very flexible. Why? Because, if you are looking to create an additional $50,000 per year, do you think investing 5 to 10 hours per week is good? What do you think, right? How about you? Fine, excellent, right? Okay, so, it's very flexible. Why? Because you don't have to quit what you're doing at the moment. If you're studying, your main focus is studies. If you're working, you need to give your 100% at your work. But this is in your spare time. Everybody's got some spare time. If you have actually taken out 1 hour today, that means you have spare time. Does that make sense? Can we all agree that we have spare time? But what do we do in our spare time? Watch movies, Facebook, and all that, right? Okay. Today I'm going to show you how you can actually, invest your spare time and create some income for yourself. Is that good? Right? I see most of you are, from other part of the world, right? Very few Australians. We came here because we are ambitious. Does that make sense? Or we came here to watch Bollywood movies, right? We came here to make money. Is that clear? Right? So that's good, flexible. And the other good thing about this is an ongoing income. It's an asset-based income. What we are learning today is how to create an asset so that we can create that income. Today the income that we make is called as an active income. What is an active income? Active income means you put certain number of hours, you have an hourly rate, and that's how you make the dollar. Is that right? Is that right? Okay. Let's say, for example, if you're not able to put the hours, how much is your income? Zero. Doesn't matter what profession we are in. You might be a doctor, lawyer, student. Doesn't really matter. If you're not putting the hours, we don't have an income. Is that true? Right? What is an ongoing income? If you really understood what I'm going to talk in next 5 minutes, my whole presentation is worth it. Okay? Because this is exactly what I understood when I saw this for the first time. Okay? What's an ongoing income? Ongoing income means you invest your time and effort for a certain period of time. Okay, and in that time you actually create an asset. That asset actually produces an income which is ongoing in nature. For example, someone actually constructed this beautiful building, right? Novotel Hotel, right? While he constructed, he invested a couple of years of time, lot of money and planning and whatnot, true? But once this is built, the rest of his life, the income is ongoing in nature. Is that right? Okay, now there's different categories of people who do that. Like, for example, singers, like Michael Jackson, he's dead, but he's made close to $140 million last year, right? Okay. Now what can we do? Let's say, for example, if you have to create an additional income, or if you have to create an ongoing income in your current situation, what can we do at the moment so that we can create an ongoing income? Do you think ongoing income is powerful? Right? Is it powerful? Everybody agree with me? Let's say, for example, if you are making $500 is an ongoing income and $1,000 is an active income, which one do you think is more powerful? Which one do you think is more powerful? Active or ongoing? Everybody agreed with ongoing, right? Now, let's say, for example, we understood that this is powerful. We want to create one for ourselves. But what can we do in our spare time, or because without sacrificing what we are doing to create that ongoing income? Do you have any idea? How about you? I'm sorry, I missed your name. Ganesh. Ganesh, what can we do to create an income which is ongoing in nature, but is not dependent on you? You know what is ongoing in our life? Expenses. That's exactly right. Whether you have a job or not, you have to brush. In fact, you have to brush twice. So when you give interview, it doesn't smell, right? So, expenses are, permanent in nature, but income is not. So what we are doing is we are actually creating a temporary income and matching with our permanent expense. How about we create an income stream which is permanent in nature so that it can match with our permanent expense? Is that a good goal to have? Does that make sense? Do you feel then there's more security, right? When we know that is the most important thing, then what can we do about it? What can you do about it? Ganesh, you have any idea what we can do to create that additional income which is ongoing in nature? Start some business. Very good. How can a business be an ongoing income? How it can create? Any example of a business that you know?
Employ people.
Employ people, right? Okay, very good. So, but you still need to put the time, right? Otherwise there's no ownership, isn't it? Right? What else can you do? What do you do by background? What do you do?
I'm doing engineering.
You're doing studying. Okay, while studying, is there any way that we can actually create an ongoing income? Do you know any other ways? Can we agree that we don't have much options, right? So let us not question this business opportunity, because what I'm going to share tonight is basically how we can actually create that. If that is what makes sense, if that is what you're looking for, I'm going to genuinely show you how we can actually do that. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. If everybody agree with me, say aha. Very good. It helps me to move on. Okay. Great. That's some music for you from me. Okay, great. Now, let's say for example, we all want, this gentleman said, to start a business. Okay, let's say for example, have you anybody here for the first time, have you ever thought about starting a business of your own? Have you ever thought about starting a business? Sebastian, how about you?
Yeah.
What kind of business? You're studying business, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. The interesting thing about business studies, the people who actually teach don't have a business. They teach from the books. Is that making sense?
No.
It's very interesting. No? Is that right? Okay, very good. So let's say for example, if we want to start a business, what can we do? What it takes to actually start a business?
Money.
Money. First thing is money, right? Very good. What else does it take?
Inventory.
Inventory, right? Definitely time. What else? What else does it take?
Employees.
The employees,
Idea.
idea, marketing and sales, whatever, How about risk? If you're putting money, first thing is risk, right? And how many of you want to take risk? No, right? Some of you left your wallets in the car, right? I've actually sent a guy in the car park to pick up your wallets. Just kidding, guys. Okay? Investments, risk. There's a lot of headaches, right? Okay? With these headaches, it's actually very difficult to think about starting something, right? When I was new in Australia, I always used to think about starting something, right? In fact, I tried to do something, and every weekend, friends get together. What they do? They have two hot topics. One is how to get a PR and what business to start, right? Okay? And both of them don't work till Sunday night, and Monday we get back to work or uni, right? So this actually, if we have a good idea, we don't have capital. If we have capital, then we don't have good idea. Something is always missing, isn't it? Right? Let's say for example, if these headaches are taken care for you, let's say for example, you don't have to do investments, Sunny, right? You don't have to take care of the risk part, the marketing part, let's say for example, infrastructure or website or whatever it is. If these things are taken care for you, how many of you are ambitious enough to give it a shot? Come on, right? Okay, that is what I'm going to talk about. These things were taken care for me when I started this business. Okay, now who's going to take care of these things for me? If some company has to take care of these things for me, don't you think that company should be really strong? Is that right? Okay, let's say for example, what we have done is we have partnered with a company who's actually going to take care of all these headaches for me, right? And for this company to take care of all these headaches, let's say how do you say a company is really strong? What are the attributes that you look into a company to say that company is very strong? What do you think, sir? How do you say a company is really strong? Company's portfolio, right? Do you mean shares? What does it? Portfolio means?
Portfolio means everything.
Everything,
Shares,
okay.
Products, it's
Fantastic.
allocation.
Specifically, what would you look into, Sunny? You keep thinking, I'll come back to you. Ganesh?
Growth, turnover.
Growth, turnover, is that right? Okay. Growth, turnover. What else do we look?
History. Reputation.
Reputation, brand, right? These are the few things, is that right?
How long they've been around.
How long, right? Very good. Right. I'm going to give you some facts and figures which actually going to blow your mind. Ready for it? Okay. First thing, this company has been there for more than 50 plus years. Anybody over age 50 here? Don't raise your hands, that's okay. This is very old company, more than 50 plus years. And a company to run successfully for 50 years, they know what they're doing, is that right? Okay. And because of their experience for last 50 years, last year they've actually done a turnover of $11.9 billion. Okay, first time when I saw this presentation, I didn't exactly know how many zeros were there. I know some of you are like me here. So what I'll do is I'll put some zeros there. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Good. So that's a big turnover, guys. $11.9 billion. What does it mean? That means this model is already working model. If we are not trying to experiment here or something, it's been in Australia, it's based out of USA, but it's been in Australia for more than 44 plus years, right? And it's been expanded in more than 92 countries. That means 92 different government bodies have accepted this company to run in their country. And that talks a lot, guys. 92 different government bodies cannot be, okay, whatever. Okay, you understand, right? And what they have got is they have got 75,000 plus products and services, both in categories of retail and online. Right? What kind of products we have? We have some of the fast-moving consumer goods that we use on day-to-day basis. Right? For example, your personal care stuff, your home care stuff, your cleaning stuff, health, vitamins, supplements, energy drinks, a whole lot of products. And we've got some phenomenal partner stores in Australia like Telstra. Anybody heard about Telstra? Yeah? Telstra, Hertz Car Rental, Harvey Norman. There's about 200 companies that we are partnered with in Australia. Right? How many of you would like to guess the name of this company?
Amway.
Awesome. Give him a hand. Okay. In fact, now it is actually called as Amway Global. Okay. Amway Global, guys, How many of you heard about this company before? Right? Now, do you think your perspective has changed? Right? Very good. Now, that's the facts. And now this company, what it's going to do is, it's actually going to provide an online franchise for us. Right? But the products are great, the company is great, but if you don't know what to do with the products, are you able to build a business then? No, right? Okay. So what we do is, with Amway, we actually partnered for products and services. This is actually my business, Rakesh and Shilpa Enterprise. I'm not working for Amway, I'm partnered with Amway, right? So they provide me products and services because they have good quality. Also, we are partnered with another organization which is called as Team One International, which is into education. Okay, let's say for example, let's say you have a great idea, but if it is backed up with the right support and right guidance, how many of you think will be able to do better? Let's say for a simple example, how many of you don't know driving here? 2 of you don't know driving. How many of you know driving? A lot of people, who's been driving for more than 15 years? Yeah. Let's say for example, Mark is able to drive for more than 15 years. If you sit down next to him and learn, would you be able to learn in a couple of months? Right? It's not a rocket science, right? Okay, we call it as pocket science. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, what we do in this business is the best part I like about the system is it is exactly going to teach us step by step how to exactly establish a business. Okay, like when I landed in this country, I actually was a student. I was studying. Anybody students here? Right? You guys can do it. Okay. Now, when I started this business as a student, and as a student, you go through a lot of challenges, right? Sometimes I used to do 2 jobs, 3 jobs, doesn't matter. Whoever calls me, I used to go. Okay? Anybody relate to me? Right? Because why? I had to pay more than $40,000 student fees. Is that making sense? Okay. So what I understood in this education system is they were ready to teach me exactly how to build this business. If I was a student, how many? Let's say for example, you're learning business, right? Do you have any business coach or anybody who's going to guide you how to run a business? How many of you know here who's actually very, very successful in their life? Like very rich, wealthy rich. Do you know some people like that? Sunny, do you know anybody who's extremely successful in their life? No. Anybody knows? You know some people like that? Are they willing to invest their time and effort to teach you how to become successful?
No.
What if they? Are you willing to learn?
Yeah.
The good thing about the system is, a lot of us, we lack direction, right? There's a lot of great opportunities out there. What it stands out is the education system that we have. The only reason why I'm able to stand here and perform is because of this education system. Let's give a big hand for this education system. Because at least it changed one life. And if you learn it properly, it will change yours too. Okay? So from one company, I'm getting my products and services. From one company, I'm getting my education as to how to build this business properly. And I'm taking help of these 2 organizations and I'm building my own business. Is that making sense? Okay? So let's move on to the next part. Basically, what exactly do we do in this business? Okay? how do we make money? Okay, very simple, guys. Let's say for example, this is you. Okay, this is you. Now every single day, we buy products from Woolworths, Coles, Aldi, Dollar Shop, right? Everywhere we buy wherever we get cheaper. Now let's say for example, an average family. Let's say for example, you're here for how many years, sir? 20 years, right? From 20 years you've been shopping in Woolworths, Coles, Aldi, is that right? On an average, how much do you spend?
100.
On an average per week, yeah? So that's about $400, right? Anybody spends more than $400 in a month? How much?
300 a week.
300 a week, right? So that's about $1,200, right? Anybody students here? How much do you spend?
100.
100. Let's say for example 100 to 400 to 1200 to 1000 or more, right? So let's take an average about $400. Is that making sense, right? Now we've been doing this for very long, right? We've been buying stuff from Woolworths, Coles, Aldi, whatever, wherever we like it, right? Now let's say for example, if all these products, let's say for example Sunny, were available from your own store, okay, where would you go and buy? Would you buy from Woolworths or would you buy from your own store? How many would you go for own store? Can you raise your hands? Right? If you can do that, that is the step one in this opportunity. Simple. Okay. First thing what we do is, we actually converting our expense into an investment. How hard is that? Right? I came from India. I'm not shopping all my goods from India, right? Tomorrow if I go to Melbourne, I would not buy from Sydney. It makes logical sense that shifting a buying location is a very natural thing to do it, as long as I'm getting some benefit out of it. Now let's say for example, everybody agreed that it's not hard to shift from here to here. But let's say for example, what is the advantages of doing that? First advantage is, every product that you buy at 30% less. So you're saving some money. Is that good? How many of you would like to save some money? Very good. Okay. Now second thing is, every product is actually backed up with 90 days, 100% satisfaction guarantee. What does that mean? Let's say for example, if I bought this marker, okay, I can use it till 90 days. Okay, I think by then ink will dry. I can use it till 90 days. If I don't like the quality, I can return the product back to the company and I can get my money back. No questions asked. Is that good? Right? What does that say? Why company is actually giving 90 days money back guarantee for last 50 years and still able to do $11.9 billion? It's not a joke, guys. There's a lot of history behind it. There's about 65 research and development centers all across the globe who are actually making this fantastic quality products. Right? I'm going to show some demonstrations meanwhile, but they're high quality products. They have close to 2,000 patents. Patents means copyright. That means if I have a copyright on this pen, nobody can make a similar product in the world. Does that make sense? A company to have 2,000, out of which 1,200 are registered patent and 800 are pending, which talks a lot about the quality, guys. How many companies do you know who has 65 research development centers across the globe? None, right? Okay, that's why the products are phenomenal, right? So if you get a phenomenal quality product, and if you're getting 30% less, is there any harm in changing the buying location? Can you raise your hands then? Okay, good. Just a little bit of exercise for this week for you, okay? Great, guys. That's the step two. Apart from this 30%, we get additional 3 to 21%, which we call it as a performance bonus. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we also have 4%, which we call it as a leadership bonus, okay? Now, I'll explain these two in a minute, but so far we're clear. So first thing what we're going to do is, why we are doing is because to create an ongoing income. Second thing is, we are partnered with Amway to get the products and services, and partnered with Team 1 to get our education. Third step what we're doing is, all we are doing is right now we're shifting the buying location. Everybody with me so far? Okay, let's move on and see what else we can do with it. Great. So let's say for example, next 20 years if you're going to shop in Woolworths or Coles, is the manager going to get excited and give you some discount or money back or something like that? It's never going to happen. So that's one more reason for you to change, guys. Okay, great. So how does this 3 to 21% work, and what is 4% leadership, and how are we actually going to get to this $50,000? Okay, we'll see that. Now let's say for example, any legal business already, how it operates, how the profit is calculated based on turnover, right? So on one section I'll put as turnover, right? On the other section I'll put it as profits. Okay, let's say for example, how this 3 to 21% scale works. Let me show you with an example. Okay, let's say for example, there's a small scale that we follow. Let's say for example, if you are able to put together a business of $400 in a month, okay, you make 3% of $400. Okay, if you're able to do a business of $1,600 in a month, you make 6%. $4,000 business, 9%. $8,000 business, 12%. Similarly, 15, 18, and 21. So there's 7 levels in the business: 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. To create a 21% business, you need to create a turnover of approximately about $30,000 in a month. Right? So what are we learning here? Okay, we're going to learn how to create a $400 business initially, and then learn how to create a $1,600, and eventually learn how to create a $30,000 business. Why? Because at this level, you approximately make that at $50,000 per year income. I'm going to show you with an example, but that is what we're going to make. Okay, but we're going to start small, which is about $12. Is that right? Everything has a small beginning, true? So our business also has a small beginning, right? So let's see from changing a buying location how we can actually create a massive business, okay? Let's say, for example, I'll take Ganesh, you as an example, if you don't mind. Okay, very good. Let's say we have Ganesh.com here, okay? So Ganesh understood the idea that, okay, instead of shopping from Woolworths or Kohl's, now I'll buy from my own store. And let's say, for example, you generated a $400 business for yourself, right? So all Ganesh did was he shifted his buying location. Does that make sense? Now, $400 business, what it fetched you is 30% discount, which is approximately $120. So that's your saving. And according to this scale, because Ganesh did a turnover of $400, he gets 3%, which is how much? $12. Okay, simple math. So $120 saving and $12 earning. Is that good? Okay, we'll get more, you know. Very good. So let's say, for example, now Ganesh, let's say, for example, if you see on Facebook, how many friends do you have on Facebook? 250? Anybody more than 250? Is there anybody in this room who does not know people? Okay, because, don't laugh, because I was one when I saw this opportunity. I literally didn't know anybody. I only knew my brother-in-law, that's it. Okay, the reason I'm saying this is because without knowing anybody in the country, if I'm able to do the business, you know a lot of people, right? I'm going to show you. Let's say, for example, now you're happy with the quality of the products and service. You're happy with getting some discounts. Okay, are you happy to share this with other people so that they get that benefit? Is that a cool thing to do or a normal thing to do? How many people think it's a normal thing to do? It's a very normal thing to do for a human being, right? Let's say, for example, I want to actually go to India and I want to buy a flight ticket. Anybody could recommend me a good website? Webjet. And anybody else? Best and Less. Anybody would recommend, if I go to that website, what flight to choose, basically, which airlines is good? I'm sure nobody will opt for Malaysia. Just kidding, guys. It's a good airlines. Any other airlines? Singapore Airlines. Why did you recommend Singapore Airlines?
Good service.
Good service. Let's say, for example, Chinmay went to India in Singapore Airlines and he got a good service, and as a good friend he recommended me Singapore Airlines. Is that right? And I recommended you all, right? Okay. Now let's say, for example, if I pay $1,000 on Singapore Airlines ticket, right? Just cheap ticket, whatever it is, right? Now, how much percentage would you get, Chinmay?
0.
0. Everybody agree with me? What, Chinmay, if you get 30% on that? What would you do? What would you do? Let's say, for example, which university are you studying? Wollongong University. Did anybody suggest you that university, or you just say ini mini day die lambadi kaloli papa chiki papa? You didn't do that, right? Somebody suggested you that university? Who suggested you that university?
My cousin.
Your cousin suggested university. How much fees are you paying?
14,000%.
14,000%. Okay. Did your cousin get 30% out of that? You guys are laughing, but we're doing it every single day. How many of you agree with me? Right? By doing the same thing, if you're able to create some income, is there anything wrong in it? Okay, you like that idea now? Okay, that is exactly what we're going to do, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's say, for example, we have to create this $400 business into a $4,000 turnover right now, so that we grow our business. Is that right? Okay. Now let's say, for example, you have a grocery shop. You want to expand your grocery shop. What are you going to do? What's the best thing to do to expand your grocery shop? Put more stores? Is that right? Is that the ideal thing to do? Let's say, if you want to expand globally, what do you want to do? You want to find some partners who can partner with you so that you can expand your business. Is there any business that's going to expand like that? Is that right? Okay. Let's say, for example, we want to find 10 stores of Ganesh.com. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Who like what you're doing and are interested in what you're doing? Is that right? Okay. Would you find 10 good people who want to do what you're doing? Is that right? Let's say for example, now Ganesh has got 10 stores, okay? That is nothing but 10 of his friends like what Ganesh is doing and they started doing the same thing, which is what? Shifting the buying location. Is that true? Okay. Now 10 into $400 business, let's say average, each family is spending about $400, okay, in their own buying, shopping. So how much business did we create now? $4,000. I'll give you a little bit more clearer example, okay? Ganesh, can you specifically give me one or two names? Nitin, okay, very good. Nitin. Shrikant, very good. Let's say number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and plus you 10, right? So all together, what is Nitin doing here? He's doing the same thing. He's buying whatever he wants to buy. Maybe it is 200, 300, 400, doesn't really matter. Just for this example, we'll take 400, okay? So 10 individuals doing a business of $400, okay, is about $4,000 business. Is that right? At $4,000 business, according to the scale, you get 9% for the whole organization, right? Which is how much? 9% of 4,000 is $360, right? Okay, now how much does Nitin deserve from this profit? Because this $360 profit is for all of you, right? How much does Nitin deserve? 3%. So 3% of $400 is how much? $12. So Nitin deserves $12. How much does Srikanth deserve? 12. 9 people, 12 is how much? 108. So 360 minus 108 is how much? 252. Okay. So let's say 252 becomes Ganesh.com's profit. Is that good? Now whatever Nitin is deserve, he'll get it. Whatever Srikanth deserve, he get it. But whatever is left over, come back to Ganesh. Is that right? Let's say for example, if Nitin does $40,000 business, what will happen? Who will make more money? Ganesh or Nitin? Nitin. Very simple. The person who does the most business will make most money. Is that right? Okay. Now I'll give you a little bit more clarity on that. Okay. Now let's say for example, Nitin might know a few friends that you don't know. You're making $250, he's making $12. He'll come and say, teach me how to do $250. Will you teach him? Exactly. That's how any network grew, right? How many of 250 friends that you have on Facebook, first day when you logged in on the Facebook in your life, how many friends did you have? Network grows over a period of time. How many of you agree with that? Yeah. Is that right? Okay. When we came to Australia, how many people did we know? But over a period of time, let's say for example, you're in Australia, right? Tomorrow if you go to Canada, maybe you don't know anybody there, but in next 6 months, would you know a few people? Yeah. Right? We are human beings, right? We cannot live without people around us. Is that right? Okay. But few people will understand what we are doing and we want to build a business with them. As simple as that. Okay. Now let's say for example, I said there's help available, right? Okay. Now how I was actually able to build a business. Okay. I'll give you a very classic example. Now, one of my friends from India actually recommended my name to a person in USA. Their name is Palita and Mala. Okay, Palita by background, he's actually working with Microsoft for more than 13 plus years, and he was at a very senior management level. And Mala was a professor. She's a PhD holder. She was a professor in the university. Both of them had a very good 6-figure income, and on the side, they actually built this business in more than 11 to 12 countries successfully, right? And let's say, and they actually showed me this presentation over Skype. Now you guys are looking to me physically and looking at this presentation. This is real, but I was looking at it on a Skype first time, and then I came to one of this session. Now when I saw this first presentation, remember I told you that I understood only ongoing income, and second thing I understood is he said, I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to help you. Okay, why he said that? Let's say for example, if Rakesh, if Palita and Mala help Rakesh and Shilpa to establish a business of $30,000, how much am I making? 21%. Let's say on an average, let's say $3,500 to $4,000 a month. Okay, right? I'm making that income, and also when I reach this level, I actually get an international trip, everything paid by Amway. How good is that? Anybody like holiday here? Okay, you have to reach this level and you get a trip for your year. Okay, and then some annual bonus about $13,000 and whatnot. Good $50,000 to $60,000 income per year, right? He said, I'll help you to create that income. What would be my question then? How? Not how. Why would you help me? Right? There's nothing for free, right? Why would he help me? Let's say for example, what he said is, if I help you to establish this business, what Amway would say is, because you have invested your time and effort and coach somebody how to do that, what we'll do is we'll calculate 4% on the entire turnover, which is approximately about $1,200 to $1,400. Okay, this income will go to them for next 3 generations. It's a billable income. It's an ongoing income. Is that making sense? Okay. I said, wait a minute. I said, if you help me to make $4,000 per year, you're making $1,200. Does that make sense? Now, one thing I understood is, if he has to make an ongoing income, right? What he has to do? He has to invest his time and effort and teach somebody how to reach 21%. If I don't learn, will he wait for me? He would go and teach somebody else. I said, if you want to teach, teach me, because I need this badly. Is that right? Okay. And only thing he asked me is, the only reason I teach you is if you're willing to learn. I said, yes, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn. Why? Because I didn't have 100 opportunities lying in front of me. When I landed in Australian, embassy and